Hey crawler buddies, this is Tom with Attach BRC Rock Crawlers. I'm just giving a new update on my Sendero element we call Grandpa Kent. I'm building it after an old farm truck, like maybe a 1-ton dually, and get this body off and I'll show you what I've done to it recently. Okay. Recently, I put a Hobbywing 1060 as a winch controller. I think I've already mentioned that in a previous video. I am using a Space Saver servo I got from A-Main. It makes 380 ounces of torque, and I bolted it to the bottom so it's even a lower center of gravity. I took my reefs sliders and I cut them, and I used Gorilla Glue and I slid them in to tuck them in a little bit better, and I cut off the running boards on the body. They were just sticking out too far. They were just sticking way out here like this. And the biggest changes I've made is an LC70 boom racing rear axle. It's narrowed from the factory. They're just narrow anyway, and I'm running his 16-hole, Jason's 16-hole beadlocks with the dually conversion and Grunt Pro-line tires, and I'm running boom racing 2-stage foams. They're soft because you don't need mediums or anything in the back because you got dual tires. Incision Driveshafts. In a previous video I did say I switched out to 32 pitch gear for the transmission. Let's see what else. I have Boom Racing's AR44 front axle. The reason I swapped out axles is I've already hurt two element, stock ring and pinions. I'm not saying they're weak, but one time was my fault. I was tuning the radio with the truck on, and it shot off, got wrapped up, front axle got wrapped up in a shop towel. So that was really my fault. I can't blame that on anybody but myself. Second set, I was out at Kern River on some real slick rock, with no traction at all. And I have my punch control set on 30, 30%. So, and I wasn't using the heaviest throttle, but I was trying to get up the hill, and it broke with no traction and all the weight on the rear axle, and the front end still broke. I'm just a little iffy about replacing them for a third time. And I know Jason's badass axles and his hardened ring and pinion, machined ring and pinion, they're extremely strong. When they were testing the LC70 truck, he had a high KB motor on 4S, and he was just beating the snot out of that poor thing, and it just held together. So I know they're strong, and I've ran them in other trucks. And right now I got a 75C power battery on here, 22 milliamps. We'll see if it has enough charge to hit the track in the back. Here we go. This is my rock garden back here. I just use it for testing and a little bit of fun. Obviously, it's not going to be as fun as Horseman's or Vasquez Rocks, but here we go. Well, I'm already flubbing up this crawl. I got the optional higher gear ratio in the transmission to overdrive the front. It still tends to push a little bit. Just push that log out of the way. That was funny. Let's try this backwards. Sorry guys, I didn't expect the video to run to over 8 minutes. I was trying to keep it at 5. Nobody wants to spend 10 minutes of their day watching a video, especially when it's not really that good. But I wanted to tell you guys the modification I had to do because the narrow axle and the width of the dualies right here, it was hitting the shocks on articulation. So I moved the shock towers to the inside, and I put Losi springs down here, and I had to take off some of the material off the spring cups down here to fit on the lower link, and to keep it narrow enough where, you know, I had some nice flex. It does rub on full articulation, but it doesn't really stop the tires in any type of way. It's pretty smooth. And anyway, what you guys think? You know, honest opinion. I think it does pretty good. I like the dualies. I like the look. I will give updates on my trail finder, unwanted Yoda. If I'm going to keep running that Toyota body or put the Ford back on, I am putting A&M hardware on there too. Well, not hardware, but all their steel parts, and I'll do an update on that. Boy, my left hand is shaky on this camera. Anyway, you guys have a great day, and God bless.